welcome Sidney Gantt, everyone.
What's going on, people? Yes, that side of the room. All right, don't get jealous when I say this, but when I was a little kid going into 4th grade, I was hit by a car. And I don't want to get into how I was hit by the car because that's not important, but I will say this about it. It wasn't my fault. I thought I was fasting. Now, I was injured pretty badly in this accident. I had a shattered left arm that I still can't bend straight naturally to this day. I had a cracked pelvis on both sides. I was in a wheelchair, and I was no longer as fast as I thought I was, except going downhill, in which case I was faster. But the reason why I tell you that is to tell you this. I was way too injured to be in school, so I was homeschooled. And the school district assigned me an at-home tutor. She was at my house one time doing her job, teaching me. My mother was in the other room on the telephone in a really loud argument. My tutor couldn't hear, so she went into the room and she said to my mom, "I'm sorry, Miss Robin, you think you can keep it down a little bit? I'm having a difficult time in here. You can just keep it down, just a tiny bit?" And it was a slight miscommunication. My mom thought she said, "Let's fight." Because I was raised by like a real deal crazy woman. And as a kid growing up in such a volatile environment, what I did is I collapsed into my own imagination. I had imaginary friends. And when I was 5 years old, my mom decided that I was too old to have imaginary friends because apparently 5 is when you need to start getting your shit together. So she did what any mother would do when she wants her son to stop having imaginary friends. She killed him. I came home from school one day, still had my little backpack on. I came into the kitchen. My mom said, "Sidney, I need you to sit down. I have some bad news." And Paul, by the way, was my imaginary friend's name. Sat down in the chair, she looked me dead in the eyes and she said, "There's been an accident. Paul's dead." And that freaked me out because he had just walked home from school with me. That means I walked home with an imaginary zombie. Now there is something about growing up with that combination of factors that makes the other little kids not want to play with you. But I didn't mind growing up hanging out by myself so much because I'm fun to be around and I'm very supportive. And on top of that, when you grow up being considered a weirdo your whole entire life, and I was, you are less likely to consider other things or people weird even if you don't agree with them. For example, I recently watched this documentary on Satanism and I learned a lot of interesting things. First of all, I learned that there is a part during Satanist meetings where they get together and curse their enemies. Awesome. I don't agree with all their philosophies, but that's a keeper. I have to add that to my lifestyle. At least then I'll have something to do with this list I've been making. So I had to figure out how they do this, and I had to go to one of these Satanism meetings, and I found one online at www.getyourdevilon.com, and I went to it. Now, before you think it's crazy that I went to a Satanist meeting, let me first tell you this. I live my life by the teachings of Batman. Batman is prepared for anything. And if you don't go to one of these meetings and find out how these types of people get down in life, that's how you accidentally end up in a cult. So I went. And as you know, I went there to learn how to curse my enemies. But what I learned instead was how easily I can make a room full of Satanists hate me. I waited my turn to curse my enemies like everybody else, and then I found out it's against their Satanist rules to bring an 89-page list. And I only found that out because like that one guy in every group that's like a stickler for the rules, he called me out, and he tried to do that thing where he like called me out and made me feel uncomfortable because he was in the majority and tried to like single me out to make me the outcast because I was in the minority. But what he didn't realize is that singling me out to make me the outcast puts me in my comfort zone. So now I'm playing a home game. And he was like, "We don't think you take this seriously enough." And I did that thing when somebody's yelling at you, talking in a really calm voice to piss them off even more. And I was like, "I totally take this seriously. What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Well, if you take this so seriously, then why are you wearing a cape?" And I was like, "Because it accentuates my broad shoulders and represents the fact that I have strong leadership qualities. Why are you not wearing a cape?" And then he was like, "Well, half the things on your list are not even real enemies, like number 547. I said, "Are you kidding me? Imaginary zombies are real." Now this went on for like 10 full pages of my list, and finally I snapped, and I was like, "First of all, you need to stop curse blocking. And second of all, you're all just jealous because the fact that I have so many enemies makes me a better Satanist than you. That's when everybody who flipped on me and turned into this real ugly scene. They were calling me mean names. They were like, you poser, you Jesus lover. There was pushing and shoving going on. Most of the people in the meeting ended up on my list. They ended up kicking me out. Like, I mean, they literally banned me from Satanism altogether. They broke into my house and stole all my black t-shirts. Which was really annoying because I used those to be a warm mother ninja. So I ended up having to move, and I moved to this apartment complex. And when I first moved to this apartment complex, one of my neighbors got beat up in the parking lot. Couldn't see what the guy looked like, but he could tell the guy was black, so he told the police it was me. Police investigator found out that it wasn't me, and my neighbor didn't even apologize. So I beat his ass in the parking lot. And I did it while wearing nothing but a cape. Thank you for your time, guys.